Remodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? 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 Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Matt Avalov of the Public Affairs, Director of Public Affairs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Matt Avalov of the Gladiators. And what a great start for the Gladiators.
Yes,
It's got to be neat for you since you're kind of the guy behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, great start being 2-0 right now. Seeing the organization grow together as a team, it's been wonderful. And seeing the boys out on the field, and they're dominating. That's all you can say right now.
Well, you know, you kind of last year you're with a different owner, a new owner. Talk about the difference of, you know, what is this and has translated from last year to this year.
Well, as Gina Thomas did take on over as the ownership there, she made it into a really structured business.
Now she was a part owner last year, right at the probably last couple of months with John Lopez. John Lopez took it to one level, and she helped finish that level, I guess.
Exactly. I think the league itself, just in the CIF, the Champions Indoor Football, is more an opportunity league, you know, so it's an opportunity to get to the next level, and that's what Gina did as the business side, and she took the business to a whole nother level, and it's been great. It's growing. The community has really embraced us on this as well, so we couldn't ask for more on that end.
Let's go back to last year. It was an exciting kind of a year because it was I think from a frustrating part from a fan's point is like it's even happening now is that there's like 3 home games and then there's 3 away games and so it's hard. It's probably hard for you to keep people's interest going on the road games.
Yes, and that is one of the difficulties, you know, playing at Tingley. But Tingley is an amazing venue, you know, but in between that time, Tingley just doesn't, it's not just the home of the Gladiators. You know, they do have some graduations going on and things like that. So we got about a 3 to 4 week break. But what's great about that is we knew that was happening, so we can throw viewing parties for away games at local sponsors. For instance, it could be at Phil from the Grills, it could be at Dave & Buster's, and we'll notify everybody with the public eye, and we can actually watch the games, stream them live from all of them. And
so that's something new from, you know, because people, I mean, that was one thing that we really, that you had to really watch it and look for it. I mean, I've been a Gladiators fan now for almost 4 or 5 years now, and I've kind of watched it grow and watched the success from one owner to the next and how each one got better at what they did, and now it's now becoming an event that almost once you go, you get hooked.
You do, yeah. That is one of the things, and that's what Coach B actually says, Coach Pavante. I'll make you one promise. You go to one Gladiator game, you're always going to come back, you know, because you do get hooked. The environment, Tingley comes alive at that game, and those fans, it's a whole other roar, just being in the Coliseum. And it does echo, it's loud, and so we love it. And we could fit a lot more people in that thing.
Well, and you've done some different things. I mean, I wouldn't say different. You've embraced the community a little bit more. I mean, I don't want to say that you haven't embraced them, but you know, I saw the Pecos basketball team, state champions, come out that day, and local entertainers are actually playing before the game.
Exactly. That was one thing that we wanted to, you know, we're a local team with local sponsors. We wanted local entertainment that's over there as well. You know, give them an opportunity to be on the platform of a pro football team, who, by the way, they bring in their following. So it's a business model of a marketing to bring in other demographics. and we actually had a big boxing fight actually the same night. And
they were successful too.
They were very successful, yes, yeah. So which is great because Tingley was booming, and they had both events going on, and they were both.
Yeah, and they're right next to each other, right,
exactly.
within 100 yards of each other. So.
Yeah, so it sounds great. Albuquerque's embracing both. They're embracing the boxing community, they're embracing the pro indoor football league that we do have. So Albuquerque is coming together.
Well, early success. I mean, Coach Bramante's, has stuck with some of the same names and some of the local people, but he's kind of like the master of bringing in, the impact player, and this year it's happened again. Yep,
that man can recruit. The coaching staff all in general. They're phenomenal individuals. They know people from all across the country in the indoor football league. And they are sharing game film, and they collaborate together, and they bring in that top talent like a Diehl Davis. That is someone who isn't from here but comes back every year. That's, by the way, that's one of the #1 offensive player of the year. He's the #1 wideout, and he's always coming back.
He's got Davis. I mean, think
about
it.
I
mean, you got to understand.
You guys must be related.
He's got expectations.
That's
okay,
right,
there's expectations when Davis walks in. Okay, everything's just kind of happen or whatever.
I like that guy.
And the thing about him, he's so personable.
Yes.
I mean, you just can't. He'll come up and talk to you, and he's very humble, and so exciting.
Oh yes, I've been taking him and a couple other players off to some flag football, kids teams, and checking out their practices, and the kids just draw to him. And their biggest thing is Diehl is a little bit smaller in his stature, but to the kids.
Oh no, yeah. If he walked in here, you would think, oh, this is, you're like, this is the guy that's getting all this stuff done.
Right, yeah, exactly. And the kids just gravitate to him, and they say, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. So that's what we want. We want our players to be out in the public and these kids to see them and say, wow, I can be like them. I relate to that person. And they got their local heroes on their side.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how many kids you have got into the stands. Yes. I mean, that was fun. I had a great, with Adam Raby, I had a great sit down a couple months ago with him, and we talked about some things that, just from, everybody's outside always has a better way of doing things until you're in the inside, and you realize all the obstacles. It's like being a head coach. Yeah. It looks easy when you're winning, but when things are going bad, everybody has a way of picking you apart, and your credibility kind of goes up and down, depending on if you're successful or not. But it was neat to see that they even listened to little things I've asked that not asked them to do, but I thought it would be good for them to bring more people in.
Exactly.
And if you can get kids coming in, and then they bring their parents, and then it just snowballs effects, and then the parents have a good time, and they're excited about the next game, and it's all kind of working itself out.
Exactly. The public just wants it to be fun, enjoyable, and safe. And that's exactly what we want it to be. If we can get people off the streets here in Albuquerque for 3.5 hours, then us as a business community, we did our job, and we're happy about that.
Well, Matt, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week, and then come back and talk more about the Gladiators.
Sounds great.
Set him in motion. Donovan has some time into the end zone. It's a touchdown.
Sees the first pitch and takes it out to her own position and takes it out of the park.
Motion. Puerto Rico calls for the snap. He's going to float it to Washington, and D brings in another one. Touchdown, D. Washington. Out of the gun, Puerto Rico looking deep to Davis again. Motion. Puerto Rico's got all day. He's going to float it to Cedric. Cedric's going to bring it in. Touchdown, Cedric Johnson.
that one's driven to center field. Out of here! Another home run for Rio Rancho.
Puerto Rico going deep to Washington. Touchdown. Welcome to Albuquerque, D. Washington. Just fine.
Third. And that one drilled out to the gap. And over and out. There's another home run for the Rams. It's going to bring home 3.
Here's a swing. Out! It's called out. Woo! That was a delayed call. So, the Cleveland Storm wins the Metro Area Championship. To receive this one, and we're underway. Dello across from us here, right in front of us. He makes everyone miss. No one's gonna catch him.
To the pro, you know.
High school sports are back. The 2018-19 season kicks off, and you could watch every ProView Network broadcast live on the NFHS network. Every moment, from every game, from every sport, including all NMAA state championships. Get your highly discounted monthly pass now. Go to ProViewNetworks.com and sign up. Watch New Mexico's best.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We've got Matt Avila, the Director of Public Affairs.
Yep.
I might get this right
You-
in the next couple segments or so. But anyway, what an unbelievable atmosphere that the Gladiators have created.
Yes.
And it's from the owner's standpoint, from your work, from Coach B's, his coaching ability and recruiting ability and keeping people engaged for to come to Albuquerque. And I just just kind of go back a little bit to the first game, and what an atmosphere.
Yes, that was actually a record attendance that we did have for the Gladiators and also for the entire league. So that was a big one for Albuquerque to show on out to the first game of the season. Yeah.
I mean, what was that number?
It was 4,078 was that attendance for that game right there.
And I think was more impressive is it was a vocal 4,078.
Yes,
okay,
yes, yeah.
Enthusiastic is probably more the word with it, but and kind of who's who of Albuquerque was there. The mayor was there.
Yes, yeah.
He actually did 1/4
Yep.
of the game on ProView Networks, and that was exciting. And I thought he was just going to go up and say, "Hey, I'm the mayor." And the next thing you know, the whole quarter he
stayed
there,
on,
stayed on and talked to. And I know Sebastian enjoyed his broadcast, but it was good but it was just a lot of people that wanted to be seen.
Exactly. And it's grown so much because it was people who started off at the tailgate. For instance, when we...
Well, let's just back up. We didn't even get to that. The tailgate was probably as fun as the game.
Yes, it was actually the biggest tailgate I have ever seen at a Gladiator game. It was a total, and this is a number from Tingley because we had parking and everything. It was 799 people at the tailgate party. That was phenomenal.
So this, what it reminded me of, I went to a game with the Chicago Cubs. It's probably 10 years ago, and the game was sold out, and I we got there. I was like, you know, a little kid in Candyland. I got there. We got there, and we went 45 minutes early just to watch them warm up.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And nobody's in the stadium. And I somehow I got to talking to the usher and the attendant on the side, and he basically, I says, I thought the thing was sold out, and he says, well, wait till 7 o'clock. That's when all the happy hours at all the establishments around, you know, will, and they'll be flying in. And that's how that was almost like, because when you kind of first started, it was, you know, there's like, you know, 100 people, there's 200 people, and then all of a sudden there was like, when the game started, it was just, and they were fired up, man. They were all, and everybody was enjoying the just the tailgating. And what happened at the tailgate? What was so great about the tailgate?
Well, we had you know, a live singer going on that was brought in by Isaac Sandoval, who he's one of a good friend of ours, you know, but he's also invented the Add Me app, which is the program to purchase Gladiator tickets. So he threw the whole party for himself. He had cornhole games, he had live music, he had barbecuing going on that was all pre-set up for him as well. And it grew, and it was big. And then we saw it for the next game where people were saying, hey, can I bring in a boom truck? Can I bring in RVs? And all you just saw were these vehicles just backing on up, and it turned into another party. So it was been amazing to see that thing grow.
And that's so neat to see, because you don't really, you know, you see that little bit of a Lobo football game, you have the tailgate, but the atmosphere in this was, I mean, it was like, you know, I walked around it and looked, and it was just so. And in fact, you kind of decided, well, do I want to stay out here, or do I want to go into the game? I mean,
and it's looked into right around 5:30, you know, because kickoff is at 6:05, so around 5:30, everybody's kind of rushing on in, and that's when the lights are dimming down in Tingley. We're getting ready for our runouts, and I could see, I'm sitting at the bottom, and I could just see these stands just filling up. And the people are coming in on both sides.
And you didn't know when it was going to quit.
Yeah, exactly.
That was, and they were looking for their seats. And they were looking there, and then, you know, and not only the west side, which usually is the most fans, but the east side started. I don't know. You look behind your head. It was really, and then all basically the VIP booths were all sold out, and they had like 10 or 15 people in each one of them, and. Just like I said, it was just fun to be around, and I think more than that, it was just exciting to see the Gladiators come from struggling to, you know, now it's like anything. You probably learned this and kind of even spoke this. If you can stay in business for 5 years, it's a pretty good chance things are going to happen good for you for long term, and so it's neat to see the fans are in the stands and the Gladiators are winning.
Yes, yeah.
And I thought, and going back to that first game, I was real concerned that because of such the great of the turnout, that the people weren't going to be focused on the game. Okay? Yes. And Jim Harbaugh was here.
Yes,
I mean, there was. I mean, not that he's an distraction, but he was. I mean, it's a opening game, and of course, you know, Bramante had to take care of, you know, somebody that's pretty high in the NFL.
Exactly,
But what a great. Did you get a chance to speak with Jim at all?
I did. You know, I got to walk around, and he was over by the suites, and I was chatting with him, and he's such a nice guy. You know, really humble. And then just hearing, I'm a big fan. I'm a Michigan fan as well, so like I also had to throw in like, hey. I'm a fan of your brothers, you know, right. So that was one thing, but we laughed about it. It was such a humble guy and very motivational.
And his dad was there.
His dad was there as well,
they say his dad was just as more humble than he was.
Exactly.
And funny. Yeah. But it was neat that when I walked in and it was nice that, you know, Coach Bronte saw me and said, "Hey, I'd like you to meet a friend," and I'm going, "Oh, I get to meet, you know, I might be a little kid. I get to meet Mr. Harbaugh." And, and he was just so nice, and again, it was really, for myself, very rewarding to feel that ProView was a part of the Gladiators too, because it's been a long process. You know, this is I think 5 or 6 years now that we started with it, and we've watched it grow, and we feel like we have a little bit to helping it grow too.
It's been, actually, you guys are doing a tremendous job. You know, at the league meetings that we do kick off with every year, the league itself in general said, hey, you have one of the best organizations in ProView who's doing the best job there for you guys as well. So they actually complimented you guys from a league standpoint as well. So you guys have done a phenomenal job.
Well, don't tell my guys that, because it might, you know, they might get. We don't want to have a letdown.
Yeah, there we go.
So we're going to come back and talk more about the Gladiators, talk about the next future game, and how to get tickets, and how to get involved in that tailgating, and you have all the answers.
I got them all.
All right.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Matt Avila here, Director of Public Affairs. I did it. I did it good. I did good. You know, we had 2 home games. We got a bye week. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday we have another home game.
Yep, we are back at the Coliseum. Right now the boys are resting up, getting a lot of healing that we do have with
injury. A little bit of
a lot of bangs up. You know, they get banged up weekly, but you know, big shout out to Apollo Chiropractic, CJ over at Evolve for maintaining these boys' health and helping them heal up as fast as possible, and then get ready for next Saturday.
Well, let's go into detail. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Tailgating. So do we have a sing? Do we have that lined up as well? Yep. I don't hate putting stuff into your deal, but there's going to be a it's going to be exactly the same type of party atmosphere. I am going to see a lot more RVs. Again, what time's that open for that?
For the tailgate party, we're saying about 4 o'clock. It's actually been packing up around 3:30. A lot of people have been getting there very early, so I would do that as well, just to get a good parking as well and enjoy the festivities, you know, a lot longer. But I would say about 3:30 to 4. The tailgate's going to be picking on up as well, getting there, setting up, and the music will be going live.
Well, who's the artist then? Do you have that?
Yeah, I don't have that just yet.
Oh,
Isaac Sandoval does have that all planned out as well. Yeah, he is.
So that's a little carrot. You got
exactly. Yeah, you got to kind of throw it out there for them. But it is a big attraction for everybody.
And then sometime before the game, you have an artist actually speaking, or singing or doing something before the game. That's kind of always that's been good.
Yes, yeah.
And then you have basically the motorcycles, so that's kind of like the tradition of the gladiators to have them in, and you just can when they come in, the lights go off, and then the national anthem's being sung. You can kind of just feel like there's little electricity going in the building.
Yeah, you feel the roar of those motorcycles. It is a big fan favorite, and to get them on there, I know the biking community loves it as well. To drive out on that field and rev up those engines, and it gets loud, and you could feel the environment just start growing as these people are coming on in. Those motorcycles are on the field.
As we're speaking, we got some clips that of some of the atmosphere that of that first game, and take over. Just kind of let us see you in action.
Well, this is one of the Amarillo games. This was last week there as well. And obviously you can see in arena ball, one of the biggest attractions is that wall that's right there. It does give the opportunity for all these local businesses in here to sponsor on there. A lot of the big hits. This is actually a safety right here. This is one of my favorite plays. But a lot of the people, all these big hits, things like that, they are loving it as a business owner that they can have their logo in action on the field as well. And look at these boys play. They are actually, so this is our rival that we beat by 40 points, by the way.
Well, you just had to throw that in.
I
hope Amarillo's not listening, putting this
yeah.
up on YouTube or anything like that. But that's going to be an interesting game. But here's what's amazing: this is your rivalry team, and last year they beat us on the last second.
They did. On that last second that they did beat us, they beat us with 1 second with 1 point on a one-handed catch. And it was just one of those games where it's just like, wow.
I was right there when the guy caught the ball too. Right there, I was sitting around.
Yeah, there's nothing you could say but wow, great job, And even though we did go to Amarillo 2 weeks later after that, and we did beat them, and we beat them again at home after that, but it was still that's a great play right there by Cedric. It was one of those that we remembered the loss, and that actually stuck with us more than anything.
Well, here's it's fast-paced. I mean, I think that's the deal. I mean, people that haven't seen it, it's smaller. It's a smaller field. It's only 80 yards. Is that correct? And you see a lot of offensive plays. It's just amazing.
It is a show. I mean, these boys have to be in top condition shape. Obviously, because the field is much smaller, you are indoors. And there's less. It's 8-on-8. There's not a full 11-on-11 like you would see on the outdoor field.
Well, I think what you see in this is quickness and speed.
Yes.
And one thing, talking to Dominic, he kind of mixed. He looked at the success of the teams that won the championship over the last 3 or 4 years, and it's the teams that were successful ran it 50-50. I mean, it was 50, and that's something he's really kind of built into his play. So if you're a runner, you know that it's just not all passing, and the thing that you know that from a recruiting standpoint, that hey, you're going to be part of this offense, and it's going to be grinded out and get it up and get it going. And he is, really. Then he's really set the standard for offense this year.
Yes, and the boys are a lot of them are new guys. We got about half of them that did come back from last year. The new boys that did come in, they just embraced it like a family. And to see in the between the passing offense and the running offense has been remarkable. Mello, who is our running back, I mean, that boy is big, and he is fast and shifty, and I would say we probably have one of the best running backs in the league right now.
Well, quickly, Matt, how do we get tickets?
Duke City Gladiators website, guys. Hyperlink is on there that does say buy tickets. And we have it organized per game, so you can hit any game that you do want to go on out to. Choose if you want a general admission ticket, a premium seating, also a VIP as well. And we're really looking forward to seeing you guys next Saturday.
Well, and that is Saturday, game time, 6 o'clock.
Yes,
and so that's a nice game time, 6 o'clock, because you're done by almost 9 o'clock, and you get home and everything. So, hey, I just want to thank you for coming on the Steve Davis Show and keep doing a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate everything.